She know about that. I don't gotta lie to you. She already know I do. Niggas be hating on me, but me, yeah, I keep it true. Whatever she need, my money be good. She already know what I do. And I don't be fucking with them. I only fucking with you. Niggas be hating since I stepped on the scene on the YouTube shit. I been getting to the money, nigga. You would think I'm about to break. You would think I served the club on some mud shit. And I don't hate on them niggas. They only hate on me. Why you hate on me? What? You already know how I be. I be on that shit. You already know I'm G. I don't fucking with you. So why you fucking with me? One page like police. You already know how I be. Came in these YouTube streets, stepping B. What? Came through these YouTube streets, stepping B. I don't give a fuck. Them niggas always gonna hate on me.
They gonna hate on Captain Keys, man.
I don't fuck. Captain Keys. How them niggas play? They gon' hate on me.
You know
why them niggas act like they don't wanna stay with me?
We in DFW.
When I come through, you already know how I be. Bag a bitch, take off stage for 1, 2, and 3. She love niggas, she know I'm break. 40 man for the other shit. I don't play with them, I get to the money. You already know how shit get. 23, I bought a Bentley. 22, I bought a club. 24, had another club. Swear to God, I show you love. I'm 30 out. Listen, you know what I'm about. I don't got to play with these niggas. They know that the money I run in the house. Keep that 40 with them hollow points. I pull it out. Nigga be talking like he gangster. You know what I'm about. Nigga play with me. You know how I be.
You already know.
You already know what time it is. It's your boy Gangsta Cat and
Kimmy.
You already know. You already know. Man, do I got something for you today, man. I just need to know. I just need to know, man. It's a few questions I want to ask, and I need to know. Is a wife wrong from hiding her $47,000 escape fund from her husband? I'm talking about you got a man. He riding with you. You riding with him. Y'all doing whatever y'all need to do to be grateful in this world. When you met her, she ain't even had nothing. When she met you, you might have didn't have nothing. But along the way, y'all started doing your thing. You got a 6-figure job. You might get laid off. And then you find out that she putting money away to the side for herself. But when you find out, how do you feel? What's on your mind? How would you feel compensating to finding out that a woman or vice versa? We could say a man as well. It's hiding money from the relationship, Kim.
You asking me? You asking me?
I want to know the truth.
Okay, so
I want to know the truth.
I mean, I think hiding money, he asked me a few years ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Keep your money a secret, you know what I'm saying? Because you've heard that over time. Grandma always told you, keep your little pocket change for a rainy day, right? Always be prepared, especially being a woman in relationships, because unfortunately women get the nasty end of the stick sometimes when it comes to relationships with men. So I would say it shouldn't be something that you hide. I think, is it necessary for a woman or a man to have that money to the side? I think so. I think you should also, as long as you're putting into the household, y'all, I'm a person that feels like, okay, common denominator is going to be the household bills, collective things on the normal. Now, whatever you have to spare, if you can afford to put it away, both for man and woman, go ahead and put it away. But I think it's a problem when you find out and it's been a secret, because now that's like you're establishing something outside of the relationship that I wasn't aware of. Generally, people do that because they don't want the other person to know that you're prepared for a rainy day. God forbid something happens and they find out you've been sitting on this amount of cash. But I feel like it shouldn't be a secret, but you should definitely have money on the side in case anything happens. Real life is real life, and you need to always stay prepared.
So a married woman in a deep relationship, they came together having no money. Come to find out, she feels some type of way because he loses his job. But she has this rainy day fund put up. And she said her mother told her the same thing. She should always have some money. But she been married to this dude, came into the situation with no money. Now he loses his job, his 6-figure job. And you don't tell him that you got $47,000 put
Oh
up?
no, that's a problem. We're not doing that.
You got $47,000 put up, and you don't tell me?
Right.
He literally had to start going through his finances, start seeing stuff to realize, like, yo, she was taking out a lot of money.
Right.
Where's this money at? What did you do
so
with
you're
this
taking
money?
it out of the house money, so you're moving it from the house money.
She's moving it from a bank account to another account. Right. He would have never realized that money was missing until he lost his job. Now, you know, like any other couple do, you lose your job, you're trying to monitor your finances a little different. You start to say, okay, I can relinquish back on the cable bill. I can relinquish back on this bill. I lost a 6-figure job. Anybody that don't know what a 6-figure job is, that's over $100,000 a year. Mm-hmm. So when you're making over $100,000 a year, that's roughly over $5,000 a week. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Right. So you literally can do things like this where you don't look at your bank account.
Right. Finances. That's why she was probably able to save up so much money, because it was distributed properly and you had enough to save and put on the side. But like I'm saying, in that situation where he loses his job, I think that is unfair to keep that money hidden, because you're a couple. Unless you're planning on leaving and that's the intention, then it should be like, okay, I think the problem in this situation is that it's been hidden for so long. It's $47,000. How do you come out and say, hey, hun, we're going through a family crisis. Meanwhile, I got this $47,000 that I've been saving. You don't know about it, but it's going to help us.
Well, let me and this is another thing. Do a woman actually expose herself by doing that? Let's talk about it.
You're exposing your intention there. Like I said, in my opinion, I feel like you don't have to hide any type of money. You shouldn't have to, because now you get into this situation to where if you're not leaving, because it's your rainy day fund, it should be open and honest. Listen, dude, we're married. I'm always have a rainy day fund. This is how you should have one too. You know what I'm saying? It comes to communication. We heard from grandma, she say, always keep your money to the side because of long generational issues that we've seen. So as a young woman, you always prep her to always be able to stand on your feet. But in a relationship where you both are bringing to the table, you should be able to say, hey, babe, I got a rainy day fund. Because if he says, oh, I don't like that, I don't think you should have one. Well, you need to know where I stand.
But don't we use, but in a marriage and people that have businesses, don't we call that 401k? Don't we
call it a rainy day fund or whatever, but it is a form of, you're saving money.
Yes, but that's a savings account with both of us.
Yeah.
A rainy day fund, we both should be know what's going on. We have a savings account where we're putting money to the side because we're not just a couple, we're married. Right. These two people are married. So you have a hidden fund. This is an agenda that started in the beginning that gathered up to be 47,000 that could she literally have just exposed herself in her disliking for her marriage?
No, you're exposing the fact that you're keeping that in the pocket. Now that's what you've been doing with your intentions, that if something happens, you have this money to fall back on outside of the relationship. What I'm saying is from the door, the old information and the old advice that you received from grandma, switch it up a little bit, because if you're with someone that you love and care about and that you're building with, it should be no reason to hide anything like money. That person should be understanding. You get what I'm saying? You create the pockets within your relationship. So if somebody, and first of all, financially, we should all be establishing ourselves as such. You should have your money that goes into your home. Always be saving money on the side. It shouldn't be a secret that I got $100 and you got 50. You know what I'm saying? The reason why people do that is because when they find themselves in those situations, it usually comes from an ugly situation coming about. I have to now leave. You know, we're having problems. So now this money is going to be my saving grace going forward because I'm in a bad stage. Mm-hmm. So people are not willing to be vocal about it within the relationship to say, hey, I'm saving money. That's what I do. I suggest you do the same, hun, because that's just reality of the financial.
Now, Mr. All 365 said a lot of women say what's mine is mine and what's his is mine and have that mindset.
I mean, that's the mindset. And that's a mindset that's being told all the time that people don't even try to dissect. They just take it and run with it. In a relationship, no, it shouldn't just be, oh, what's mine is mine, and that's it. Because you would be upset if a man does that to you, right? Because men are supposed to be the ones to put their hand out and be the provider. But what I'm saying is yeah, always have that cushion for the side. But there's no reason. This all stems from being dishonest and unopen in the first place. You would never have any type of issue where you have to feel like you're with a person that you can't say, hey, I'm going to save money. If you can't openly say that, then maybe you should check the person that you're with. Maybe you should check the things that you thought were maybe common. It shouldn't be a problem to say that. And because we've made it a rainy day fund to be quiet, it becomes an issue. And like I said, a lot of times that becomes major issue when you're in a situation where you have to be honest and finally say, hey, babe, we're in a bad situation, but I got $47,000. Now you got to.
But no, that's why I said, right. Now you exposing yourself. Mm-hmm. Is the issue more of, is not the fact that I might not want to let him know I got it, but now it would expose the fact that I fucked up and I was really, maybe in the beginning of the relationship, didn't have no faith in this relationship. Didn't think it was going to go as far as it did. I thought it probably wouldn't last. And you overwhelmed me. We turned out to get married. Right. But guess what? In the midst of that situation. But then now I'm going to say to myself, as your husband, why you didn't stop?
Why couldn't
you? How did it get to the point where it's $47,000? What? Because I'm pretty sure.
But that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if it's $47,000 or $1 million. You get to the point to where, like, damn, I thought we were partners. Why did you feel? You gotta keep it simple. She made it more complicated than it really has to be. And if you look at it, a lot of times people make situations a lot more complicated than it really has to be. So basically, you're saying you're in a relationship with a person that you can't trust with this information. It's too valuable that you've kept it a secret and built a cushion. And now you're exposing yourself because you're in a situation to where you can't just sit on $47,000 and watch your household go down. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to eventually bring this information out and say, hey, I have this. I've been hiding it because of this. This is how much I have. So that exposure is going to bring deeper issues into the relationship because now you're both looking at each other like, hey, I was dishonest, and the other person is looking at you like, how could you? I thought we were in this together.
I thought you was my ride or die.
Right. Like, I mean, and like I said, things happen within relationships that warrant you. I mean, I just think people financially should build a stable relationship off of honesty, not financial situations. As long as you're continuing to look in financial situations, you're going to be in this situation because everybody should always have your own money, period. And I'm not just going to say for men, I say for women. Why? Because in real life, things happen. Say your spouse passes. Now what? You are relying on...
That's our money. If your spouse passes in a marriage, that's your bank account.
But now there's an account that you don't even know exists. You get what I'm saying?
No, but I'm saying that's why you should have a problem if I'm married in this account. Because if I died and we had an account together, you get all my money.
That's what I'm saying. There's an account within the marriage that nobody knows exists except for one person. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everyone should always be able to sustain themselves as an individual if you have to. Because at any given time, you may just have to. But to your spouse that you're collaborating with, this should be already on the table of how we handle our business. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be a secret. And his bank account shouldn't be a secret. You know what I'm saying? That's where the intentions of marriage.
Now is that a violation? Is that divorce worthy? Because supposedly he left. She said when he found out, he left, went to his brother's house and filed for divorce. And now she's in an uproar because she loves her husband. She wants to keep her marriage, but he feel betrayed.
Right, and he has that right. I don't have a right to tell him how he should deal with his marriage or what the next move should be. Because in his marriage, he felt like that was betrayal. You've been dishonest. You didn't let me know this. So how many other things can I counter in that you may have been dishonest about? And some people have a one-strike rule. They say, listen, if I can't trust you on this and you've been hiding money, I don't know who you are. So it's best for me to just separate myself. Some people don't want to be in the mix of trying to regain trust again. They say once you've broken it, that's it. Mm-hmm. And this is $47,000, not $4,700 or $470. You were pocketing this and you felt that it was enough to keep quiet.
Now, as a wife, do you think, Kimmy, that she at some point in time, she should have told him? Because because me, I look at it like this is how shit happened. When you least expect it now he loses his job and y'all need that $47,000. And it's like, damn,
Right. You should definitely told him a long time ago. Why not? Because we were taught to keep that as a secret. Why? Because the history in which that conversation came up was when women find themselves in a situation, mainly because at a time when women were they were taken care of by the providers. You got to remember, at one time, women didn't work, and the tradition of women were to be homemakers, you know what I'm saying, taking care of the children. If they didn't make any money, that means if they needed an escape plan, they didn't have one because the provider was in control. So that's why grandma was able to say, hey, always keep you some pocket change, because if you always need that, you'll have that for your protection. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? But that was from that intention. But even if you're in that situation now, what the hell are we lying for? You have more to put at risk than you do to freaking gain. He may say, oh, no, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Because I haven't even started mine. Let me try to get mine together. Because we don't know. We may need to have to put that shit all back into house money. You know what I'm saying? So establish your communication with your partner and be honest. Stop the nonsense that you've heard. Create the rules in which work for you. Because unfortunately, now you're in a situation where you love your husband, but he don't trust you. And he's out the door. So your $47,000 is very much relevant right now. You need that.
Now she need that.
Exactly.
And that's probably,
was it worth hiding? No.
And that's probably how he looking at it. You allowed $47,000. You allowed this money to come between us because now I'm at a point where I lose my job and I'm struggling. Right. And I probably would have never still found out. Right. Unless I checked my finances and started doing history. Right. Or I would have literally been sitting here worrying about getting another job.
Right. And you sent clear on money.
Oh, and the best crazy thing about it is he allowed her to be a stay-home mom. So she was a stay-home mom.
Right.
Pocketing his money. That's his $47,000.
Right. That's his money. But she felt like she was entitled to it. That's why I said the dishonest bullshit causes more problems. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody has their own reasons for holding back information on their own. And I get it. But understand, you can't move like that no more. It doesn't work. We've watched it so many times. And you have to give people enough dignity to say, listen, I want to follow this type of way. I think we should do it.
Hey, sincere.
Yeah. So what you were saying?
To me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I was saying you have to give people enough dignity to have that conversation and relationship. Just don't count me out as if I don't exist, because he is putting into the household to make sure that it grows. And you're growing outside of the household and he's not aware of any of this. So, yeah, it is. It's disheartening.
Very disheartening.
So, yeah, I mean, you can't call it. You can't say, oh, you need to stay with someone and work it out, because everybody has their boundaries. I just feel like you should be honest.
Very. And the sad thing about it is that now she lost her family, her husband, and everything she was trying to build for nothing. Like all because she thought that she might need a rainy day. The rainy day was that her husband needed her.
Well, now the rainy day is today. Like think about it. Like, is it worth it? This is what people prioritize. You prioritized money ahead of your relationship and the bond that you had with the person that you came into this union with. So to you, it was worth hiding. And to the other person, it wasn't worth hiding because we were in this together. You know, sometimes we pick and choose the wrong things that we decide to, keep from our partner because you think of it being as too stressful. Oh, like, well, he doesn't need to know that I've got money for a rainy day because I'm a woman protecting myself and blah, 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 blah. You create all of these excuses in your head for no apparent reason at all.
And the crazy thing about it is she said her mother was the one who told her to do this.
Right. But my mother's always told me to have money for a rainy day. I don't hide a damn thing. Why? Because if it's a rainy day, watch me walk. But we've established that, and there's no reason why, as an adult who's putting into the household or being part of taking care of the household, has to run around hiding money. The only reason people are hiding money is because they put so much more value into it, and they tell you, everything that you look at that you can lose, you have to have money to do, right? Mm-hmm. But instead of looking at it as a faux pas to have a side savings account outside of your house, why isn't it something that's communicated within the relationship? Your partner, you should not be hiding anything. You can work out anything.
But how do you feel that it took him to check his finances to find it?
That's messed up. That's messed up. Imagine if it was on her end and he was pocketing money, only to find out, babe, you know what I'm saying, I lost my job and things, we got to change a little bit of stuff around here. So we're going to downsize and blah, 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 blah. You know, but you sitting on enough money that can help keep us afloat and you just don't want to say nothing because it's your side money. Side money for what? Are we still a union or not? Like, don't make it harder than it really needs to be.
Y'all see how Gangsta Cat feel. Gangsta Cat feel like if you hiding from a man, then you don't want to be with that man. If you putting money in places that you don't want him to know that money is, if you don't want him to know you have something, then you don't really want him. That's like getting your tax money and not telling him you got your tax money, but just taking him out to eat. You ready to go out to eat? Like, bro, when you gonna tell me you got some money in the bank? That like, come on,
listen,
bro.
This is not a boyfriend or some nigga staying with you. You're married. You know what I'm saying? And that tells you a lot about the relationship. How much faith you had in the relationship to come down and be like, this is what I got. You know, I mean, what? Like, I don't get it, you know, because I said, you know, time definitely brings some wisdom onto you. You find out a lot of this shit ain't worth it. You bring it on yourself. You ruin a relationship based off of dishonesty, whichever way it may come. And he, like I said, he set his boundary to where it's like, okay, keep your $47,000. If that's all the relationship was really worth.
Oh, he basically let her walk.
Right.
Basically, she got what she wanted in duality. Because what do they say? When you in the game of life and how to play it, it says when you wish for something, you manifest it. She basically manifested that something was going to happen one day. So she put money away every day as if something was going to happen and she was going to lose her marriage. And now she ended up losing her marriage. She basically manifested her way out of her marriage. Because you basically lived your life as if something was going to happen. I'm going to lose this money. I need to put myself in a position to have something in the safe haven. Well, guess what's going to happen? God is going to put you in a position where you're going to need that safe haven.
Right, and that's the duality of it because you are manifesting. That's the energy that and the intention that went into keeping that money a secret in the first place. If the intention is just to be able to financially have your own savings, then it would have been that and you wouldn't be in this situation. Mm-hmm. But the mere fact is that it tells you that there's some type of feeling or communication issue within that relationship. She was not comfortable enough to go to her husband and say, hey, I'm keeping this money or this is the money that you earn, but I'm creating my own account. Why couldn't you tell him that? Now question, I mean, did you feel like you couldn't go?
Because she didn't have no job. Because no. What you said? Why she couldn't tell him that? Because she ain't got no job.
Right.
No. When you ain't, let me finish. You ain't got no job. So that money that you're talking about putting away for a rainy day is his. What woman can go to a man who's working a 6-figure job and say, I want to be able to take your money out of our account, even though you're putting me on our account. We're married. It's a joint. I want to be able to take money out this account and put it into another account. So if a rainy day ever happened, I could just have some money to when I go.
Okay, so let me say something because you just made this a whole lot harder. So he's the main provider in the household, right? You're the stay at home, right? Mm-hmm. So I go to you because this is not what we do, but I'm coming to you and I say, hey, you know what? I'm not the sole provider, but what little bit I can afford, I want to create an account, right? You go to this person. They flip the fuck out. What? How the audacity of you to try to put my money to the side. Boom. There goes a motherfucking red flag. Because now you've you've created the conversation to open it up. Whether that person is like, okay, no, because this is understanding and conversation at the end of the day that you're avoiding. That's why you're hiding it and you're being dishonest. So if I'm going to my partner and this is what I'm saying, I want to build, I'm making you aware, you know, I'm the stay-at-home mom, blah, 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 blah. I don't have a means of making money. Blah,
but
blah,
if we ever got divorced, you're going to get 50% of what I got. Let's be honest. If you get divorced, you don't get nothing. You don't walk away with nothing. You're going to get a rainy day. If we don't have a prenup, you're going to get something. No woman gets married to a man and walks away with nothing.
What I'm saying is,
so how dare you? What's the audacity of you to
Thank you, because you're giving it to me raw and uncut. How dare you? The audacity. This is a relationship between the person that I'm with. And I'm now trying, instead of me hiding it, I'm trying to open up dialogue. So the how dare you. And the audacities are exactly why women hide the money in the first place.
I would be looking at you like you're crazy. And the reason is because you're basically playing for extra. Because if we got divorced, what is the first thing the judge and the lawyer is going to say? They're going to want all money in all accounts to be divided. It has to be done. So that $47,000 that you're hiding has to be divided in half. So you don't own $47,000. You own 22.5. 22.5 is yours and 22.5 is mine. But you've been hiding money in another account like it belongs to you. And you didn't even have a job.
You misunderstood what I said. I opened up the conversation. Nobody's hidden anything yet. I opened up the conversation by coming to my partner. And
now you came to me and told me, I would literally say to you, baby, why worry about having a rainy day fund? If we got divorced, you're getting 50% of everything.
Now let me raise my hand again. Doesn't that create the conversation? It's better than going ahead. At least you understand.
I would have rather you created the conversation.
Let me finish. At least you have the understanding. You've created the conversation, and now you have an understanding of how both parties feel, and it creates the conversation because we're in a relationship together. Your relationship is just like a business transaction when you get into a partnership for somebody, for an actual business. That's how you're running your home. So these are discussions that are very much relevant. So when I throw it on the table, if you have a disagreement, that's now open time for me to get an understanding where you're coming from so that you can understand where I'm coming from. And then we come to an agreement. The problem is that everybody is in a relationship and then you come in and you're playing for self. And then when you're playing for self and then shit gets nasty, the relationship is disgusting. So why not? What the fuck is the harm in having a good conversation with a person that you're with, that you're building with?
Nothing.
What's the worst they can say? I don't agree. I don't feel like we should do things that way. But now you risk losing your whole marriage off of hiding and keeping a lie a secret. No, that's not fair. That's not a business transaction that you can go out in public and do with anybody in the real world. So why are you going to do it with your marriage?
So in other words, man, as we end this, how you think she should have did it, Kimmy?
I think she should have been honest. And women need to learn to be honest. And if you're in a relationship with a person that you can't openly have these conversations with, then you need to check the tone of the relationship that you're in, because you should be able to go to this person to discuss anything. This is your business partner, your friend, and your lifelong soulmate. Why are you keeping anything from that?
Hey, man, you already know what time it is. This your boy Gangsta Cat, man. It's a warrant out there for my arrest. I heard it's a $5,000 reward. If you rocking with me like I'm rocking with you, don't tell them where I'm at and don't tell them who I am. But you know what it is, man. Share the live. Give Kim